off of WWE Survivor Series, but today on Twitter there was a little bit of a fight. Well, there's always fights on Twitter, but today Chris Jericho and Becky Lynch got into it. Chris Jericho, Becky Lynch, a little bit of a Twitter war. Let's check it out. Thanks to WrestlingInc.com for sorting these out for us. If you want to check out WrestlingInc.com, there's a link down below. Chris Jericho, congrats WWE for making women's wrestling the hottest thing in WWE. Who's headlining WrestleMania, Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, or Nia Charlotte? Becky Lynch said, nope, that was me. I think she's referring to the fact that she made women's wrestling great again. Then Jericho says, yeah, for sure, with an assist to Nia Jax for breaking your face, of course. And then Becky Lynch said, the sucker punch drew blood for sure. Little known fact, I actually got the concussion from listening to your last album. Chris Jericho then said, the one that went #1 on iTunes with 30 million views on YouTube, maybe go back to clown school for better material. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. Thus, I deem Chris Jericho the winner of this Twitter war between Chris Jericho and Becky Lynch. Now check this out. Tonight for Raw. I don't know why. I felt the need to bring up this Twitter war, man. I don't know. It's not much of a war. It was kind of just kind of a jab contest, you know, and they went at it. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to witness. I enjoyed it. We also got more, too. This is kind of weird. Of course, now I lose it. There it is. Jesus. Jericho said this was he was talking about AOP. Jericho's continues. He's making all kinds of news. Jericho's been making a lot of news recently, but yeah, he's making a lot of news today with this. So then he says, God damn, my hair's all over the place. Whatever. AOP made the main roster deal, whatever. He said, Jericho said, I think the concept of AOP is cool. They were obviously very popular in NXT, Jericho said. I have the problem, though. AOP and NXT were managed by Paul Ellering, who used to manage the Road Warriors. Now they bring in Adam, Akam, and Razor to the main roster. They fire Ellering. I never got that. Well, I mean, Jericho, you should get that because Paul Ellering didn't want to travel. And he said, this is nothing against anybody. They bring out this dude, Drake Maverick. This guy who actually said my name is Rockstar Spud. And, I don't know, he just says, there's nothing against Rockstar Spud, Jericho said. Here's my problem. Why would these two behemoths listen to this little guy? I mean, I kind of get what Jericho's talking about, but I mean, if anybody saw Drake Maverick's promo on the pre-show, it was really pretty good. And you know, if Jericho didn't hear it, man, Jericho, you got to go listen to this thing. He got a pretty decent promo on the pre-show. Now, I wish he went in a little bit more on Jerry Lawler for what he said to him. And if this was back in the day, you would have gone in full blast on Jerry Lawler or whoever that, legend or person analyzing the situation would have been. But, you know, what are they supposed to do? You know, at least they gave him a manager. Where was Jericho when complaining when they didn't have a manager? Because it was ridiculous when they didn't have a manager. It was stupid. When AOP did not have a manager, that was just dumb. Like, it was full-on stupid that they didn't have a manager. But now they have somebody at least. At least they have something. And I agree, it's a little weird. Yeah, Paul Ellering fit them like a glove. But again, Paul Ellering does not want to travel. I believe that's why they removed him. Now, if it hadn't come out that Ellering didn't want to travel, I might have thought, well, maybe Vince didn't want some older guy with them. And they did it literally because they were like, we don't want some old guy on the show. So they wanted to get some younger person. You know, for the whole, I don't know. That could have been the reason. But from the reason we understand, it's that Paul Ellering didn't want to travel. Or maybe they said that so that they wouldn't make Paul Ellering look bad. Maybe that was to protect him. I don't know. But Jericho's wondering why. But from what I understand, we already know the answer, that's not the situation. So I'm not really sure about that. More on the injury to the fan the other day when Enzo Amore crashed the WWE Survivor Series. Enzo just making a big spectacle. I don't know if he was... I don't know if Enzo was made by the WWE, and once he got made, he was like, I'm just going to jump up and start screaming and stuff like that. Or if his plan the whole time was to do that, I assume it was. I assume that his plan wasn't to sit there and try to actually watch Survivor Series. I assume he was waiting for the right time, perhaps. And maybe this wasn't the right time. Maybe he wanted to do it during the Lesnar match or something, because he'd been hiding out for a while. And I tried to reach out to Enzo multiple times to get a hold of him, but he ain't answering, man. I was thinking maybe we could find out what in the world he was thinking. I mean, kid's freaking out. Damn. But so we don't know. What was his game plan? I mean, obviously it seemed the game plan was to get ears and eyes and social media buzz on his new album that's coming out or whatever. He cut some kind of track on Liv Morgan, some kind of diss track on Liv, whatever. I think WWE was said to have advised her to put him on a restraining order or something, get some kind of restraining order on him or something like that. So that's a really bizarre thing. But that's weird. Enzo Amore, it was not WWE did not have it planned. PW Insider, the most important within most everyone in the company was down on the stunt, so most people probably hated it. I would assume that's how. They said, I mean, we saw what the security did. Security ended up escorting him out. And by the way, it was just that one female security guard who grabbed him and then dragged him out herself. It was very weird. There's talk that a young female fan was injured during this. The security quickly swarmed Amore. A stretcher was brought to take away the young female fan. The fan was holding her arm, clearly in pain, before medical staff tended to her. The woman was reportedly checked out and given an ice pack on her arm. She did return to her seat for the rest of the show. Enzo, who also made headlines this week due to being booted from Delta Airlines, we heard about that. So he's running around seemingly trying to create his own press or trying to create his own buzz, which I guess is interesting. But he's kind of an asshole. But I mean, I kind of enjoyed it, but he is kind of an asshole, though. If someone did this on my show, I'd be pissed. Right as he got the "how you doing," he got dragged off. I thought that was the funniest part. He was seen multiple times behind these guys. I don't know. See that boo? He got booed, man. A lot of people were like, it was awesome. Bring him back. I mean, honestly, he got booed and probably cheered equally. Like, there was a lot of people cheering him. There was a lot of people booing him. It was a dick move, but it was kind of funny. And up until that point, Survivor Series was god-awful at that point. Like, the Survivor Series ended up being, like, middle of the road for me, pretty decent. But the beginning of the show, the first half of the show was torture. Anyway, that's all I got on that. While you guys are hanging out here, here's a little bit of a clip from the podcast me and Leah did last week. We're going to do another one on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So here's just a little clip from it on Patreon. You can hear the whole thing, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Here you go. Yeah.
Your whole life can be ruined because of you got some disease, you had an accident.
Yeah, you didn't even do
something completely out of your control, and now your whole entire life is ruined because I say
that
really
That's
weird.
Twice.
I know. I heard it the first time. I was like, I say this like fucking Stewie, and then it came out again like
I was
ruined.
really. I almost asked you to say that again. Can you say ruined again? Because that was really cool. Then you just gave it for free.
Yeah, no, I heard it too. But yeah, no, it's you can get fucked over. For something that's completely out of your control, and it's not fair.
Let's run through these really quickly. We got a Tree Root says, have you and Leah played Super Smash Brothers together? No.
I don't think so.
We played Mario Party.
Yeah.
Remember we used to play that? We should play that again.
Yeah, it's fun.
You got mad at me, though, for a while, being like, let's play that. And you're like, no. Remember, because we got bored of it or something?
Well, no, it's because you were bringing it up as we would drink, and then every single time we would drink, you'd be like, let's play that, and I just got sick of playing it.
Yeah, no, that's all I mean. Yeah, we had fun, though, for a while. I really liked it. Like, I would still like to drink and play that with you.
It's a fun game.
Leah will only hang out with me if we're drinking. She hates me.
It's not true. You
don't like me. You love me. You don't love me. You're leaving me.
You're constantly doing shows, And so, like, it's
You're
like by
gonna
the
leave me.
time you're done with your shows at night, which is the only time I can hang out because the kids are in bed and your shows start, like, immediately afterwards, and then they go all night. I'm in bed by the time you're done. So what do you want me to do?
Does Leah still play Nintendo Switch?
Yep.
Yeah, she beat, tell them real quickly, tell them what you did in Zelda.
What, you mean, like, 100% of it?
Yeah, some people don't know that.
Oh, yeah,
I
that was a
forgot
while
about
ago.
that. Yeah, you 100%ed Zelda. Some people haven't done that. They'd be like, wow.
Some people have, like, I wasted a lot of time on that.
Roger that says, when the time comes, will you be parents that let your kids date boyfriends and girlfriends when they are in high school? I mean, I dated in high school, so yeah. How will you feel or react if your kids were expected to have a baby while in high school? I would probably hurt somebody. I don't know who. I would hurt if it was my daughter, like the dude's probably getting hurt. I'm just gonna tell you right now, like that's gonna be a problem. That better not happen. Especially if the guy's a dickhole. Like if it was some nice kid who was smart or something, I'd be like less worried.
I feel like,
but I'd be terrified. I'd be like, oh man, I messed something up.
I'm not worried about that with Brenna.
I'm not worried about that because if it happens, I might lose my mind. So I'm gonna pretend that isn't gonna happen at all. Jesus. Let me see here. On YouTube, there was a question asked. What is your favorite food that your spouse could make? Says Storm Maverick.
I don't really make food, but I bake.
Leah doesn't make food. You heard it. You heard her say it.
I don't have a kitchen.
There's a kitchen right there.
Really? That kitchen? No, because every time
Come on.
Leah
doesn't make food. That's the answer.
All right, I can't find things when I go to make something. I can't find the shit I need.
It's not a big deal. Like this is what we talked about at the beginning. When we're like, oh, what do you like? Like she does everything that I don't do, and I do everything that she doesn't do. She does the laundry. She does, puts the seat belts together for the kids and the car seats, whatever. And oh my God, what a great name! Is this already a name? Jesus Christ. I'm looking under the names of the people suggested for this podcast. Look at these names. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Cronin Show, which is kind of lame. Lear's Lair. I mean, I think that'd be a good podcast for like Leah talking about gaming by herself, which she could do. The Man and Dan podcast, Chris says, but that's a Becky Lynch reference, I think, and it sounds like you're calling Leah a man, so she doesn't like that. The Cronin's Show, that could work maybe, Mellow Yellow. Mr. and Mrs. podcast. I don't really like any of these, but William Cole said, "Till Death Do Us podcast." That's a great name.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's a really good name. Jesus Christ. If that's not, that's probably already a podcast. It's got to be. Till Death Do Us podcast. Oh my God. I was looking for something like that. I've been looking around and finding all these like funny little names that we could have, and that's definitely one that we could have. But that sounds like something that's got to exist already. But if it didn't, then I would do that. Anyway, I think we need to go get our son.
I mean,
from
there's
school.
other stuff called Till Death Do Us Part, but not.
That's a great name. Like, what the hell? What other ideas do you have? Can I talk to you about some other things? William, can I talk to you about some other things?
Joe Cronin, monetize this. Keep counting that Joe. Fridays at 11. Joe Cronin, keep counting that cash, Joe. Yeah, let me stop by saying this. You mess with Joe, you might as well slit your wrist. I come and get ya, listen and you feel the picture. I bang hard, me and Joe will come and bang your sister. Who are these guys, all these bums in the chat? Yapping their mouth until their face get cracked. Bitch beat 'em a lot, so watch his fucking mouth before I come through and put his